Oh my God.
Hello, everyone. You are tuned into the All My Friends podcast. I'm your host, Liam Oliver. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on SoundCloud, please trash that subscribe button. If you want buttery hot chat about everything Manchester, music, culture, and now food, yum, 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 your best way to stay in the loop is by following the show. My guest today is a career chef and vinyl aficionado. He actually threw down All My Friends' first ever mix and is an encyclopedia on all things funk, soul, disco, hip hop, rap, house, Balearic, acid jazz, yacht rock. The list can go on and on and on. Not only that, but he's a masterful chef who has a command of flavors, balance, and ingredients that can bring the best out of any food he's given. I met him when I worked in the kitchen at Font on New Wakefield Street, where he taught me loads about food and music, and like all good head chefs, made my life hell whilst I was trying not to cut my fingers off. I'm really excited to have him on the show today to talk about the power and joy of food and how it's inescapably linked to music. So, say hello to my guest today, Paul Dolton, aka Dolly. Afternoon, Paul.
How you doing?
How are you?
How you doing? Greetings. Thanks for having me on, man. Really looking forward to having a chat with you, mate. So I'm not seeing you for a bit anyway. So
Yeah. No, it's. I'm really excited for this one. How did you like the intro? Do you think I covered everything?
Yeah. I'm very humble though, you know. I'm just a geezer, man.
Well, as this is the second series as well, I'm upping the production values a bit. So I think we'll put in some air horns and stuff as well to hype you up a bit more.
Everything sounds better with an air on, doesn't it?
I am very excited to chat with you today, and we are going to discuss everything food and music. But before we dive into all that, can you give my listeners, all 10 of them, 3 of them being my mum, the Dolly story? I know that could be a podcast in itself, so maybe if you could try and condense your life into about 10 minutes, that'd be sick. You know, where did the music start? Where did the food start?
I've ended up here at 52, but music, as a small child, there was always a radio on or something on it when I was at home when I was a child. And so you just sort of like get into music without even knowing, don't you? You know what I mean? And certain beats and certain vibes, you just like slip into it. It washes over your music. That's the thing. You can't get away from it. You know, I don't think you'd want to resist it, but yeah, probably listening to like Bob Marley and there's always used to be Elvis playing in the house when I was a kid. Because, you know, when I was a kid, it was way back, you know. Born in 68, you know, so I had to live through the 70s. But in all these times, you know, there's been like, you know, different movements that I seem to have fallen into. It's mad, yeah. And I've just sort of like ended up here. I've played all over the show. I'm still doing it now. I still think when I'm doing it, like the last night, I was like, why am I doing this? I'm 52. What am I doing? Mm-hmm. You know, but you can't help it. You just gotta do it. You gotta play it. You know, music's inside you. You know what I mean? It's just one of them, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That's about me in about 10 minutes. That I think.
I mean, you did that about 2. You could say a bit more. What about food as well? Then where did that come into it? Because
food's always been there. I've always had an interest in it. You know, almost. You know, when you start making toast, I mean, even just a simple thing is toast, you know, all the different, you know, densities of the bread and all the different, you know, ways of doing it. If you want to like, if you have it cold, if you have it buttered, or, you know, it's just something that's always sort of been there, food. I've always liked to try and experiment when I was a child because there wasn't that much to do too. You got to remember way back when I was a kid, there wasn't so many other distractions when you was young, you know, so the basic things you used to do or used to try at least, you know, and cooking was one of them. I mean, Mum used to cook quite a bit at home. You know, she used to make like apple pies and shit and all sorts. She used to try different things. She nearly killed us a few times because I remember once she made a chili once. It was like, this is like, you know, probably about 70, 75. And you couldn't get kidney beans then in tins. None of that caper. And she got some dried ones. And, you know, you're supposed to like soak them, aren't you? And then like rinse them and then soak them. And, you know, and she just cooked them as they were. She put them in a pan. Like, obviously, we didn't know. I mean, the chili was terrible, but the beans and, we were so ill. But yeah, so it's always sort of like been about. And obviously I'm a father now. So when you're a father, you do actually look at food differently too. Because you want to give your kids, one, a wide palate, so they'll try anything, you know what I mean? And two, you want to feed them with, whatever you're putting inside you. It does matter, it does matter. I mean, I've only recently started like exercising and trying to lose some weight. Obviously, as the older you get, the more aware you are of your mortality in a way. Even though I've had a few scrapes with that. Yeah. It's always there, isn't it? Food, music.
Go back a bit and tell us, because I remember you've told me this story before about rocking around Burnage when you would have been a teenager. With the
big what with playing?
You brought hip hop to South Manchester. Or was it New Order?
No, I tell you what. I remember when it hit though. Like it was. Oh my God! Well, it was really when there's a film. It's a seminal film, The Wild Style. Right. It sort of like brought hip hop, graffiti, breakdancing, all that sort of like blown up in that film. Have you seen it? Have you ever seen it?
I haven't, no, but I'll get it on.
Have you not really?
No.
Right, you've got to put that, and just the soundtrack itself. I mean, I remember Kenny Dolton did he re-released it in a box set, didn't he? Like the soundtrack on I think they're on 12s or 10s, I'm not sure. But even the soundtrack is it's absolutely, top class, mate. And when it blew up, because at the same time you had like Buffalo Gals a bit later, I think, Malcolm McLaren. So that was another thing about, and there was like dancing in that too. But and also you had Blondie, because Blondie was dropping shit about. I mean, that's the person in The Wild Style is like a bird heroine who's like obviously got blonde hair, but that's supposed to be Blondie, isn't it? It's a really interesting. If you want to know where hip hop came from, and street art and rapping, really, you've got to start there. It is the starting block of hip hop, And we used to, we had like a little breaking crew, man. And we used to go up to a place called Heat and More, which is like the posh end. I mean, I'm from Burnage, Firetown, you can probably tell that with the accent, but it's not a lot going on there, I know obviously there's a few people come out of it, but yes, we used to go up Heat and More, and we used to break down outside a pub called the Elizabethan. Because over the road from there was a place that was under shelter, so you could do it in the rain too, and you just had to do it though. It was so exciting, hip hop and breakdancing. It was so exciting. You didn't have any choice in it. You was just in it, and you just did it. It was amazing, man. It was amazing. But yeah, I used to another thing you saw with it, because I was obsessed with that tune. What's it called? Is it Everything Goes Green? New Order. But I used to play that round, on a little one speaker. It's like a one speaker stereo, though. You know what I mean? I just blast it out. I wanted everyone to sort of hear the music. I did too. Maybe that's why I ended up DJing and stuff. You just want to share it, don't you? It's even though you get off on it so much, but you want everyone else to feel like that, don't you? You want everyone else to understand what you hear.
So yeah, it's interesting. I want to go in on this sort of hip hop sort of like epiphany a little bit more. Because what were people? What was sort of like the thing you were listening to before that? Was it very much like late 60s psychedelia, like or was it sort of like that proto disco stuff?
Well, you see, luckily for me, obviously with it, we went back to say there's always like stuff I could hear at home, like be it Elvis, be it Bob Marley. So I'm multicultural. My dad's half Jamaican, so I had a lot of different influences. But there was always music playing, and I've got an older brother and an older sister. You see, my sister went through all that early electro synth, and then she was like a punk, So I had the Sex Pistols, and do you know what I mean? And then at the same time, my brother turned into a mod. So then it was like a bit of a ska thing and all around that sort of time. So I got the Specials and Special AK and all that. So I had them sort of influence. I always had something sort of good, as it turns out, was quite edgy. Sex Pistols, still like and like the Specials and that. That's what I mean. I almost consider myself, Liam. I thought about this the other day because I had a look at some of the questions you're going to ask me, and I'm almost like the Forrest Gump of music, me. I seem to have like turned up, all these like monumental things. I've sort of like been there, or I know them, or and it's just like I don't actually know why. I was just lucky, I guess.
Yeah. What do you feel about it now? Because you've mentioned like quite a lot of like cultural movements there, and quite a lot of you sort of call them tribes. You don't really see that anymore, I don't think, to such a great extent. You have mods.
Are the tribes online now? It's this, that's what I mean. It was things were very different. I think with the progression of technology now, like what we're doing now, which is from when I was a kid, like you still. The phone, red phone boxes. If you went on them phones, you could you used to tap out the numbers, didn't you? So you get a free call.
Yeah.
That was like mind blowing. Then I mean, everything's so people don't knock about anymore like they used to. It's strange, but it's just the way it goes, isn't it?
Yeah. No. Amazing. Well, I think that's a really good sort of like musical and food introduction to you. Next question I want to ask you. You've been about town for what, three or four decades, playing out in Manchester. And in that time, sort of which club nights, promoters do you really think have shaped Manchester?
Changed Manchester.
As a DJ, wow. Well, shaped it, and like
Can I go back to that Forrest Gump thing? You know what I mean? Yeah. So like fast forward, I mean the change. Obviously, there's the hacienda, which was seminal, mate. It was massive. It was even more so now when you look back at it. When I go to exhibitions of it and all that, it's like, don't get me wrong. What it did and how it changed clubbing was like it was seminal, because obviously before that, there was clubs in town, Placemates, Genevieve's, Smokies. Smokies is what's it called? That underneath the overdraft. It's like a famous like ship club now, isn't it? What is it?
Underneath.
Do you remember the overdraft on Princess Street? What's that club underneath there called? On
Princess Street.
Yeah.
Where's Princess Street? Man, I don't drive around Manchester, so my street name.
No, listen.
Is it Joshua Brooks?
Yeah, is it? No, it's not Joshua Brooks, is it? It's another one. It's like that sort of thing where all students used to go. But it used to be Smokies.
Oh, Fifth Ave.
Greg Wilson in there. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it, mate. Yeah. that used to be a club. That used to be called Smokies. I seen Chad Jackson in there and Greg Wilson. You know what I mean? Mike Shaft. But anyway, in them days, when you went out, you had to wear like shoes, right? A shit pair of pants, a shirt, and a tie. You couldn't get in a club without, just walking in your own clothes, come as you are. The Hacienda was one of the first, for me personally, when I heard about it, because obviously the dance music thing wasn't going then, When you went to the Hacienda, though, it's good because they did play stuff that you didn't hear, like Prince, like New Order, like the Smiths, all that stuff that you just didn't hear anywhere else. And plus, when you walked in there, it was like the way they'd done it, with them, what are them like meat curtains, the plastic ones.
Yeah.
Where you walk
like
through
that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's just the way that you went in there, obviously, it's like and you went in, and the club was like quite big. So that was quite impressive when you walked in. And the sound system, and it was just different, mate, And obviously how things like, became this like almost like a fable now, isn't it? It's like, whoa. And on a personal level, I've had some great nights there, as it were, I knew people, people at work there, and diddle-a-da. So I used to go on the VIP all the time, and so I just knew it, and it was almost like a home from home, and it was really good. But it's not my favourite club. It's not. I didn't have my best experience there. Being older, obviously I'm in my 50s, and as I say, I've been through things and I've seen things and I've been there. So I always try and. It's not like putting the Hacienda down, but I just want people to realise it was good, but it was good. It wasn't that good. I didn't think so on a personal level, but it changed the game. It was a game changer, mate, that place. You know what I mean? Game changer. So that was a big one. Obviously, the fat sick thing. That was honestly, God, you did think like the world was changing, because all of a sudden this hip hop beat was coming out of like, Republic of Mancunia. It was dreamy, mate. And I put, like AIM from up your end, he's from up your end, and he Barrow or whatever. But they were playing hip hop and doing music. They just did not get over here, mate. And I think, from that, the nights that came from that, like Missing Link, and obviously Friends and Family and all that. for me, that they were the best. You know, them times and the people, and they're you know, it's still talked about now. And they still put nights on now. People will flock to it. You know, I think that's a sign of what's good and what's not. You know.
Yeah. I can see you've actually just got a Fat City Records t-shirt on as well, haven't you? Get that on the camera.
I've only just got this. I've been searching for it. The wife got it us the other day. I was actually buzzing because I thought, oh, where that all day. So we've got an all day or two on. We like pattern that, which I'm really looking forward to.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Anyway, go on. So.
Oh, I can see you've got a few. Well, you've got a few others here in the notes that you haven't mentioned yet. You've got Sankey's soap and Phoenix. Now, Sankey's
was all right.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, yeah.
Did you ever go to Sankey's?
I think when I went to Sankey's, it was probably a lot different than when you went. I got a refurb, and like I was in the very much like the last few years of it. They started putting people in for free because it wasn't making money, and it was just
really.
It was good. It was still, you know, outside of Warehouse, it was still probably the thing that I think's closest to like a super club in Manchester. I mean, obviously knowing you and, you know, just all the influences you've talked about, Sankey's does seem a bit of like maybe a curveball where you'd.
Well, I think it's where it was situated too. It was an odd one because I think they were trying to get like an hacienda sort of vibe, but that sort of like come and gone, and it sort of you had to move on from that, and then from that all these sporadic little clubs came, you know. And I think that's where you get the good nights, isn't it? You know, that's the small intimate venues are the one, you know, for me anyway, personally. I've never been to a Warehouse project and all that, but it's supposed to be like, it's just too big, man. You know, the sound's always like shite, you know, all distorted. You know, it's just not for me, that, mate, you know. Not that I don't know. Who knows? That could change.
Yeah. How about, I was going to say, just talk about little clubs as well. Do you have any that stand out? I know Roadhouse is a big one, but obviously.
Yeah. The number one, that used to be good. The Roadhouse are just like, I love them type of clubs, you know, that are just dark. Used to smell of smoke, you know, and they were already sweating when you got in there, you know. Those are the venues that you want to be in. You want to be involved in that crowd, that vibrancy. You know, everyone's on it for a good night. You know, it's always going to be them nights. Honestly, with friends and family and that, mate. I know, you know, I'm a big hip hop fan and etc. You know, diddle-a-day, but they were the best ever. You know, you were so excited to get in. Didn't matter where, because you knew it was always going to be. No, they had so many top people play there. Yeah, really good, mate. Really good. But yeah, small little venues. Yeah, I can't. Even like small bars, mate. You know, I can remember. You remember Crowbar? Do you remember Crowbar? It was opposite the uni, wasn't it?
I think it shut down the year I.
Has it shut down now?
I can't remember the last time I was down Oxford Roadway, sort of.
Right. Yeah, me too, mate. But being that I remember seeing that the next one in there, and it was they absolutely blew it up. It was so good, you know. So yeah, I think the smaller ones, the better, mate. For me personally, you know. But how do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, I'd take a 400 capacity club over a 4,000 one any day. Like, don't get me wrong, like Warehouse once a year is good, but you probably want to do it once a year. Yeah,
I know. I do feel as though I'm a bit like that with that, a bit like, oh, I'm not going to that because I'm old school and I know fucking everything. When I don't, you know. So really, I should probably go because they have some big names on there. You know, people that I'd like to see. You know, I'm going that. Is it Repercussion at Thingy?
Yeah.
Shadows playing that. Are you going there?
I'm not. I've got tickets to the Homo Electric one, so that's the one I'll do this year.
I think Sean's going there, isn't he? Yeah. That should be a good one, though. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, but I think once a year is enough because
right.
You manage it and then it is great. You'll have a good time, but you are right. Yeah. The music's booming. The rooms are so big, you can't really play much interest in mixing. Yeah, you've got to basically go hard or go home sort of thing when it comes to. You're not going to get away playing like Soul 45s. It's just not. It's not the right atmosphere sort of thing.
Really.
Yeah,
that's a shame.
And also, like, where have your favourite places to play? Where what have some highlights for you been around like Manchester, like playing out?
Well, yeah, probably. Well, I said that to Jenny. We were talking about it, and I said, you know, probably my favourite places to play have been like for parties and that. Really, probably the best venue I ever played. It was that beach bar in Costa Rica. Now that was a venue, mate, you know, and just everything about it was so surreal, you know. Yeah, that was like really, I really enjoyed that. And you know, another place I really enjoyed was that place in Marple I used to play. Can't remember what it was called. But that's only a small little bar. But it was the first place that I played after my brain hemorrhage, you know, and obviously coming back from that, it's like, oh mate, it's a struggle, you know, you lose everything. I mean, you have to learn to talk and walk and everything after that. So I really took it out of me. I remember trying to like beat mix and after that, I just couldn't do it. But I struggle with a lot of things like that now because of it. And that was like the first place when I played out, you know, and I just thought, hang on a minute, I can still play music here. And it was almost like another epiphany, mate, you know, and it gave me such a surge of energy, and it is small steps. It's a long way back from them sort of injuries. You know, sorry to digress there, but
no, it's okay. No,
so that's why I sort of like, because I'm being honest there, you know what I mean? It was a massive thing for me, that massive thing, and I really enjoy playing in there, you know. But probably there. Probably location, I could say, be Costa Rica. They're there for like that place in Marple. I can't remember the name of it. It'll come back to me. That I've probably got it on some notes here, but I've not even looked at these notes. I wrote loads of notes and everything. So I just thought, I don't want to sound like, you know, a bit like what have you. But I don't think I've used any of them. But yeah, that place. But yeah. And a small part. I mean, I did a thing in lockdown not long ago, like a rave. Like that, but this is like a friend's. Her mum's got a massive gaff somewhere in Ashbourne or something. And I did that, and that was ace, mate. It was, you know, you got that vibe again of like people being out, you know, and like woo all together, and it's like really good. It's almost like the second coming. We should have that now. Now COVID's going to like fuck off. We're going to get a bit of life back. You know, it could be like the second coming. You know, it's up to you guys, man. You got to dig the new breed. It's no good talking to me. I'm done and dusted, mate. You know what I mean? You guys, you got to carry the news now. Yeah. You know, I'm here to listen now. You've got to school me now, fella.
Yeah. I think I've been schooling you for years, but so we've been talking quite a bit about music, but also I'd like to flip the script a bit and ask you also about favorite restaurants. Which restaurants and chefs have had the biggest impact on your culinary life?
Right, yeah. Well, I tell you what, and this might throw you this man, but I tell you, it did have an impact on me. And I've done a lot of his recipes. Like it's like Jamie Oliver, right? I know he's got a big tongue and all that. You know what I mean? But the geezer, and he got. I like chefs that get people into cooking. I know that they're a bit trendy now, aren't they? Chefing, you know, fucking Gordon Ramsay's on everything. You know, he's got like his own cop show and all that. It's like, what is this? You know, so they're quite trendy now, quite iconic, all these chefs. But obviously, back in my day, there used to be one show. I think she was called Fanny Craddock. And if you ever see it, look at her now. Honestly, she looks like something out of a pantomime, man. It's fucking scary. It's like a really scary cooking show. But yeah, Jamie Oliver definitely has been an influence on me. But you know, in recent years, obviously, the place I like to eat is a place called Morrow in London. Books to get, man. This is for you. Get this book, man. If you like food, really good book to start you off with, you know. That Muslim Mediterranean vibe. I mean, it's a big thing now, isn't it? But I mean, time ago when all that came out, it was quite edgy, but you know, everyone's into Za'atar now, aren't they? And fucking sumac and what have you. It's a common, but that's a good thing, because it's books like that and restaurants like that that bring it into and more the merrier, isn't it? You know, with the food, more the merrier, you know. But Morrow, yeah, if you've got one restaurant to go to, you just jump on the train to London, you know, if you book a ticket far long enough ahead, it's only about 30 quid. You can nip there, have your tea, and like come back. You know, it's brilliant. A really lovely place to eat, man. Yeah. Morrow, man. Have you been there?
Yeah, I went there for my birthday a few
years
ago.
There?
Matt, I sent you loads of pictures and everything. It's like, I'm going tomorrow. I've been like twice. Told you every time.
Sorry, yeah. You've got to remember all that shit. I've got no memory ever. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's the brain injury thing. It's like, jeez. It's almost like I should introduce myself. Listen, I've had a brain injury now. So if I repeat myself or I forget exactly what I'm doing every night, that's what I mean. My carer's gone now. I'll be like, oh, I should like give me a little cup of milk now, you know, fucking rub the back of my neck. But yeah, but the memory thing. No, have you been there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, so we had like we went for like my 27th birthday. We went to actual
Right.
Morrow, had 3-course.
Yeah.
Flight of sherry at the end,
Oh.
cheese board, absolutely battered.
Oh, yeah.
The time since then we've actually went to Marito just for like afternoon lunch and stuff.
Yeah. Which one? The one in Hackney? Or did you go the one next door? Because they've opened a Marito in Hackney.
There's one. No, it's the one in Islington. So the one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right,
I can't remember the name of the street it's on, but it's the main one. It's the one where you got Marito next in Morrow.
Yeah. That's the original one. Yeah, it's the little one next door, isn't there? No, but they opened I think they opened another one. I think it was in Hackney, and we went there. I think well, that was a few years ago, like. But still, yeah, the quality of the food there is like it's unbelievable, isn't it? You know, and you understand how it is important. You know, the fresher you can eat, you know, the better it is. You know, and actually giving a shit about what you know. If you're buying some tomatoes when you're out buying tomatoes, smell them.
Yeah.
Well, it takes you a second, smell them. You know, I mean, if they smell like tomatoes, they're going to taste good, aren't they? You know, rather than like these, you buy like, you know, tomatoes in plastic things covered and don't like all that, you know, apart from the plastic waste. It's just, you know, you should have a relationship with the food that you're going to eat. Be it a small, you know, a very short one, but, you know, you should give a shit what you're putting inside you. It's too easy, you know, eat shit. And it's not that difficult to cook. You know, it's just about actually giving a shit and giving it a go. And not worrying about it, you know what I mean? Another sort of thing you can tie in with being a DJ, innit? You've got to give it a go. You've got to think on your feet. You know what I mean? You've got things will go wrong. You just got to put them right. You know, it's you should cook more. Another great book for you though. This is a really good book that anyone should get. Pickled, man. It's a really good book. You know, all the recipes and that and things. It's a really good sense that, you know, that sour sense. You don't actually realise how much you do enjoy it, you know. But yeah, it's a really good book that about all different types of pickling, you know, diddle-a-day, you know, have a go. Actually cook. You know, do a few things, have a go, and you feel better for it. You do. I know you love cooking now, man. You love cooking. You came into that kitchen years ago, you was like, oh, I'm not working with him, shit in your pants. And you love your food now. And I know you give it, you know, it gives me great joy. To see, you know, young kids and that getting on, because it's there, man. You know, this life, it's a good life. You know, we're lucky people where we live in that. You know, you can do what you want, really. And if you work hard, you can do well. So, you know, give it a go. Give it a go, mate. Sorry, take it over.
Yeah, you sound like you're coming up now. Calm down a minute. Like, you've got a few more here in your notes as well for sort of you know, you've also mentioned Ottolenghi, so it's great to like, you know, Morrow and Ottolenghi.
Yeah,
like,
you got a lot. Yeah.
Very.
Have you ever had a really good book? Another book to get. It's called Jerusalem. It's on
the to buy list. Yeah.
Is it? That's Sammy. I think it's Sammy T.A. Really, really good book. You know, they just, you know, we can, especially you know, being in town. You know, you can go to Rusholme and that. You know, you can go in them Asian supermarkets are the fucking best places ever. I mean, I lived in Rusholme for a while, for about a year, maybe a year and a half, and that was my favourite thing to do when I was around there. Just going to markets, so they're just crazy. You know, have you ever been in them on a Sunday when you get them big fishes out?
No.
They're massive frozen, and they're just on the floor in the supermarket. You're walking around, it's like these massive frozen fish. Yeah, something to do on a Sunday. It's mental, man. But yeah. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, no, cool. No, I'm just sort of like, yeah. And also, you've been getting into Indian cooking quite a bit recently. You've got Dishoom down here.
It's like one that is like Indian cookery that's it. You know, I think when you master that, it's time to my work here is done. You know, and disappear through the door and that, because they know how to balance spices, don't they? You know, same with the, you know, obviously the Ottolenghi and they know how to balance spice. But Indian food's just like, we all like a curry, don't we? We all like a curry. But place that Dishoom's just like lifted it up that little bit, you know. And I find it interesting, and I want to try and master things. I mean, I mastered like sourdough, obviously in lockdown. Got to be doing something, aren't you? So I mastered that, and I have absolutely killed it, mate. You know, killed it. But I can't get chapatis right. I mean, I've done them I don't know how many times. I'm still not getting them like just right. But yeah, it's a good book dish. Have you ever had it in there?
You know, it's on the bucket list. We had one at a festival, Lost Village. They had like a pop-up tent there. They just did some, like nice, like they did like breakfast naans with bacon and some like
yeah,
Indian chutney and fried eggs and stuff,
Yeah.
and that was really good.
Right.
So I've had like a Dishoom light, but yeah, it's definitely
it's worth going. It's worth going in there just for breakfast. Get that eggs curd well. Oh, it's like a killer, mate. You know, but yeah, it's a good book. It's a good book. Yeah, it's worth it. Listen, and the thing is, right? Please just try cooking. Have a go. You'll surprise yourself. You know. And what's the worst thing that could happen? It don't taste that good. Next time it will. You got to learn from your mistakes, haven't you? You know. Please cook. It's a good thing, man.
So you've mentioned this twice. Please cook, and I want to get
people do cook.
I want to get your opinion on because I absolutely hate them. But you know these food delivery boxes. What do you want? Do you know?
You've got, mate. I live up in the sticks, mate. You know, we only just got a chip it. You know, there's nothing. I don't get nothing.
No, you must know these like Hello Fresh. You know, they send you like pre-prepped meals with like individual spices.
It's just the dumbing down. It's just the society that we live in, isn't it? You know, if you could be asked to think that you're cooking because you're getting everything, just it's not about that. It's not about that, is it? But I don't know. What am I saying here? I'm like contradicting myself. If it stops somebody opening a tin or just putting something in the microwave, surely it's a good thing. You know, am I being a bit like Ponzi there, like doing it again? I'm like, oh, well, I won't do that. But if it's engaging people with a pan, you know.
Yeah, no, a friend said it to me because I sort of brought up the point, like, you know, the advert to like, you know, what I'm going to go out, I'll spend all day buying all these spices and then I'll be left with like full jars that I'll never use again. I'm like, we'll just use them again for another dish, innit? But he sort of said like, it's got me cooking more. So then I was like, well, actually, I sort of get that.
Do you know what I mean? I heard myself then talking like that's wrong because it is engaging because some people don't actually, you know, cook at all. They don't give it a go. And I find that like quite odd, really. You know, quite odd. But that's me.
But anyway, I've got some quick fire for you as well.
Go on then, mate.
If you can keep up. So I always like to throw a few quick fire questions at people. It's just it's nice to, you know, helps us to get to know you a bit more. And we're already chatting for half an hour. So right, let's dive straight into it. Salt or pepper?
I'd say pepper always. You know what I mean? White pepper, probably because I like the heat. You know, but obviously everyone digs black pepper now. You know, but white pepper, that's the one.
Red or white wine?
Red, and lots of it.
West Coast hip hop or East Coast hip hop?
West Coast, isn't it? You know.
Really? I thought you.
Yeah, I didn't say that. No.
I thought Biggie's the one though.
Yeah, Biggie is the one, but you can't. Biggie is hip hop.
Boy. I'll put some more air horns in here.
Yeah, please get some air horns.
Italian or Spanish food?
Spanish, obviously. Spanish. I don't get Italian. Do you get Italian?
Do
you like pasta though?
I'm getting pretty good at making my own pasta at the moment, so yeah.
Well, I'm impressed with that. I don't really like it though, mate. I don't like it. Pasta. It has its place, and you know, but I'd always go rice rather than pasta, you know. But that's me anyway. But yeah, definitely Spanish. More flavour, mate.
Oh, that's good. Well, I mean, yeah, with like Moro and Ottolenghi, that does make more sense, doesn't it? There's like Muslim influence in Spain, so yeah.
Yeah, Spain, you know. Yeah, there's almost it's a deeper, I would say, like flavour to Spanish food.
Nina Simone or Minnie Riperton?
It's got to be Nina, you know, right? But Minnie Riperton, you know, air horns. You know, she not only a voice, Minnie Riperton. Both of them have got such voices. This is supposed to be quick fire, isn't it? Sorry.
I mean, take all the time.
Okay, man. Because you have to, man. Because you know, again, I was saying books for people to have a look at that. And what you should do, you know, you should always listen. You should always listen to some Nina Simone and Minnie Riperton and hear the purity of the voices. You know, and you got to remember, without Minnie Riperton, there wouldn't be like breast cancer screening. Didn't know that, did you?
No.
Yeah. Well, she died of breast cancer. I think she was quite young. I think she was 28 or early 30s. And it was her that started off the first. That's how they got the breast screening program running in the States, and that's how breast screening come about. So without her, she saved the lives of like millions of women. Didn't know that, did you, kid? And
No?
she's amazing. Gonna start body popping now.
Uh,
Yeah, go on. That's an hard one, that though, Liam. You did that there. You've done that. You've done me there. You stitched me up.
all right. Next one is deep fried lamb phyllo pastries or mincemeat stuffed tomatoes.
That killed me, that. Oh, oh, it's got a bit of mincemeat stuffed tomatoes, hasn't it? Like my bit of heaven, man. Yeah.
You know, I've committed a cardinal sin there. I've thrown in an in-joke into a podcast, but no one's going to understand it. Like, if you're listening, just ignore that. But
yeah.
If you ever meet us face to face, we'll tell you more about it. But it's pretty funny.
Yeah, we'll have a drink. Yeah, definitely. Go on.
Grill or deep fry?
Deep fry.
Ooh, that surprised me as well. I thought you'd be a griller.
Yeah, you can, of course. I like to grill. I like healthy food, but if I'm being honest, would I want something deep fried to grill? You want it deep fried, mate. You know, that's honest. Honesty.
Fair enough. Beach bar or basement rave?
Basement rave, man. Always the basement. Oh, it's always there, isn't it? It's like everything goes on in the kitchen. It's always in the basement if you got one, isn't it? You know. Always in the basement.
And last one, jazz peanuts or disco biscuits?
Both at once.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. Amazing. Thanks for the quick fire icebreaker.
No problem.
I've got one more question to dive into before we sort of talk about maybe like food and music a bit more in tandem. I wanted to know, like, what have been your biggest food epiphanies? You know, if you could list 3. So when I say like food epiphany, I mean like a time when you learned something so fundamental about cooking that it like completely changed the way you approach how, you know, look at and cook food. So a few examples I've got that might get you thinking is like, not all pasta sauces need to be tomato based. When you realize that you can make like a sauce out of a butternut squash, that's really like gives you a whole new dimension to cook with. Ovens have a temperature gauge. You know, that's something that you learn about 21 once you've finished being a student. You know, the joys of slow roasting.
You got to remember, I've been in kitchens since I was like bloody 15. I think I started in kitchen, so I understand the cooker now. Yeah. How much they burn.
And what was the last one I had? Essentially like great cooking's knowing when not to put something in a dish. You know, you don't have to throw everything at it. Like you can.
I remember reading. I had a look at, I remember reading. I thought that's a really good question, and it is the truth that. I know knowing when to leave stuff out, knowing when that's good enough. You know, it's like if you cook onions slowly in olive oil. If you cook them long enough, man, they become a beautiful thing, man, with a depth of flavour that it's just like you cannot believe. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like you say, it's not. But for me personally, probably I remember. Again, going back tomorrow, it was like all these different recipes that I'd not seen. I was like, ooh, obviously that probably came out probably about 10 years ago, maybe. I don't know. It was a while back. But I can remember doing a thing called Mojo Roja and using bay leaves. You use quite a few bay leaves in that. I like blitz them up into like the sauce. And it's like bay leaves. I was just like, oh my God. I can remember back at home when my mum used to cook, she used to do, stews and soups, and she did her best in that, man. The bay leaves that she used to use are them like dried ones that you buy in a packet, the bloody see-through horrible dried things. And you did get flavour off them. You do get flavour on, but I think the fresh bay leaf is like, it's unbelievable, mate. I don't know how you feel. Just next time you get a fresh bay leaf, just rub your fingers on it, right, and smell it. And it's intoxicating, mate. The flavours you get from that. So yeah, actually sort of like understanding how powerful the ingredients can be. That floated my boat. Beef dripping butties as a child. I understand. You sort of understand now where all the flavour comes. Flavour does come from fat and all that. It's like a seismic thing. There's that book that's out now, and what's it? Fat something or other. You do like 3 ingredients. Yeah. All the flavours in the fat, man. Obviously, fat beats. Tie that one in. But yeah, definitely like beef dripping butties as a child. I can remember, as you go back to that again, child of the 60s and 70s, bleak times, mate. So Sunday dinner was a big thing, and when it was roast beef, man, it was like air horns. It was like a big one, So yeah, you used to look forward to like, and all it was like a piece of shit white Warby's bread, like dipped in like the juices, the meat juices, man, and then your mum would give it you, and you'd be like, it's like the best thing ever. So. For me, that was an epiphany, I started realising, wow, you get all that flavour from that fat. You know, really, you understand where it comes from. You know, big thing. And obviously, when I started chefing and working in kitchens, I can remember somebody. I'm not sure what they were cooking in it, but I remember them deglazing the pan with some white wine and that, and getting the sauce from all the burnt bits and all that, and tasting that and realizing that that's where all the flavour is again. Anything that you cook or whatever, get them bits at the bottom, get them into your sauce. Make sure you whisk them in or deglaze it, because that's where all the flavour is. If you cook a steak in a pan, don't just like put it onto the plate and get stuck into it, man. Just like deglaze the pan with a little bit of butter or something, or a little bit of alcohol, and just make sure you get all them juices and all. That's where all that flavour is, So yeah, there's three for you right there.
Amazing, thank you. Yeah, no, they're three really good ones as well. Okay.
No, they're all, yeah, honestly. Next, get a bay. You got another one for all you people out there. Get a fresh bay leaf and just rub it between your fingers, and then you smell that power. It's like unbelievable. The layers of like flavors, just like it's unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable.
And you've actually, just for anyone listening as well, all of the book recommendations will be in the show notes that go along with this. Like and subscribe. Do it now. And I can't recommend where you buy bay leaves, but you can get them in all good retailers.
Yeah, you get them. You can get. Don't start by. All you need to do is just get a little bay tree. You can get them from anywhere. They don't cost a lot. Just put them in a pot, and then you've always got them in your front garden. Start growing your own herbs. If you've got, obviously, a lot of you people might be, you're in like a big high rise, whatever, innit? Mm-hmm. I'm lucky. I've got a garden, so I can grow a lot of my own stuff. But rosemary, thyme, lemon thyme. All these sort of herbs don't take a lot of effort, you know what I mean? But using fresh herbs, start cooking, everyone. Start cooking. No, do it all, man. It's not hard.
Right then, let's talk a bit more about food and music together. I mean, we've been talking about it all show, but let's. I did want to ask you. Don't be sorry. That's what we're here for.
Oh yeah. I can't remember what I said. I'm look at what's been said. I've not got my carer here. I don't know. I've got my nurse here at the side of me doing my dribbles. Oh.
So, what qualities do you think good chefs and good DJs have in common? What skills do both activities share, in your opinion?
Well, clearly, obviously, right from the start, they're mad. All chefs are loons. Every chef I've ever met is the most engaging people too, because obviously with madness comes brilliance, and that's it's the same with DJs, isn't it? Obviously you got to be calm under pressure, and you do feel the pressure, don't you? You feel the pressure in the kitchen, you feel the pressure when you're playing sometimes, don't you? You're like, it ain't going right, or you've not got the vibe, or so you're calm under pressure. You got to be organised. As a chef, it's so much easier if you know where everything is and what you're up to. The madness can come, but as long as you're organised enough to know what it all is, then you can throw yourself out. And it's the same with being a DJ. You don't take records out in order, do you? Right, I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna play this, but you take out stuff and you have like a few of them bangers and that there, a couple of them, then take some of them 45s. You think about what's on at the age going to be the people there, so they're probably in a bit. It's just having all your weapons, to hand. So I think that's a really important thing that they both share. Knowing what to take or what not. So
it's also something I thought of is like it's creating something which is greater than the sum of its parts. So the same with like an event, and the same with like
that was nice,
a meal.
That, mate. That was an air horn, that man.
Yeah, but it is. It's sort of it's coming at an event, and because that's the thing. You don't want to turn up all the time with just like the Beatport like fucking Serato list of the top 10 bangers in the charts at the moment. Because even if they're mixed impeccably, and even if like you don't put a foot wrong technically, it's still not going to be great because you're missing.
It's not going to be great for you either. It's not. I think personally for me, I mean, I feel like when I go out and I play, like I said, you know what I'm like. I take about 5 boxes. Well, I like to have a selection, and you think like right, and then you start playing, and it's all off the cuff, isn't it? It's all off the cuff, how you take it. And I think that's another thing, with chefs. You got to be able to, just judge shit better, Yeah. I'm with you now. Definitely.
So then I suppose the next question is like, why do you think both food and music share share
Sorry.
such a close relationship? Couldn't get my words out then. Do they, or are we just in an echo chamber? Because obviously the both of us do love food and music. Like,
Yeah. I think that again we go to that. You know, it's a similar thing, isn't it? You know, but both of them feed the senses, don't they, and the emotions. You know, both of them can like give you comfort. You know, and change your mood. You know, but person definitely, just like a song, like take you back to like your childhood. Because you know me, I can't remember anything, can you? I don't know my kids' names. I don't know how old they are. But I swear to you, mate, like 2 bars from anything, I can tell you where it is, who released it.
mm-hmm.
But that could be autism, but it's not been investigated. But it's definitely got musical autism, you know what I mean? And it can do though, like a bar could just like it can take you back, you know. If I ever hear like, God, I don't know if I should be saying this, man. Yeah, but what's his name? Is it David? No, it's not David Soul. Don't know. No, but I'll go back to that. But yeah, you know, like a smell can. You know, you can get a smell, and that can take you back. It's such a powerful thing. Yeah. So I think that's yeah. You know, and you know, as in. Music can be like antisocial and all, can't it, in a way, you know what I mean? It takes you away. Well, it's sort of like, I can be taken away by it and I'll just be like, can't be bothered with anyone else, you know what I mean? I'll just be my own little thing, you know? But it's not something you sort of do, is it? You know what I mean? But, you know, comfort eating is one of them, and it's the same as.
Yeah. Would you say you can get addicted to both of them then?
Definitely. Definitely. I think I've got an addictive nature anyway, mate. But yeah, I think on a different level and yet not, they're very similar, like you say. Anything that gives you comfort, anything that can stir the emotions that obviously food doesn't, well, not for me anyway. You know, food's here and the music's always going to be there. It doesn't stir the emotions like the music. I don't know what it's done to me, mate, but it truly is. That's all I ever think about, really. You know what I mean? It's so inside of me. It's just there. You know, the last weekend we could actually go out and have a dance. Woo! You know, that's another story. But yeah.
Are you going to be going to the first electric chair that's coming back? I sent you the link.
Well, I think that's the day after that repercussion, isn't it? I think they're on the same days, or I think there's one after the other. I know I'm going to that because obviously Shadow. I've never seen DJ Shadow, and obviously his first album, introducing, absolutely seminal album. That's another one that everyone should have that in their collection, you know, for sure. But yeah, Electric Chair was good, mate. That's another one. I almost feel like it's like the Hacienda Electric Chair. You know, it was great. And there were some great nights in there, but I don't know. See, I'll be going back to the friends and family thing there, you know.
Do you think Electric Chair was quite instrumental in like sort of shaping Manchester?
It has shaped Manchester. We see like Luke and that now. They're running things now, you know, like the what's it called? The Palace,
the Refuge.
The big hotel. Yeah, Refuge, you know, he's got all that. He's got his finger in many pies. So that's what I mean about that Forrest Gump thing. With like music in my life. I seem to have been at all these great, you know, big moments, you know.
Oh,
anyhow, yeah. I think they do.
And I was looking at
Prince dined out at his restaurant in Volta 2 nights in a row. I'd be living off that for the rest of my life. Would do though, wouldn't you? Yeah, no, Prince dined out 2 nights in a row, man. You know,
yeah,
amazing.
You don't need to look far nowadays to find like an artisanal food festival with like a big lineup of music. I wanted to like get your opinion. Do you think that's like a great invention, or maybe like a sort of a lame corporate like greed grab? You know, are there limits to this cross-pollination between food and music, or should they, you know, are we sort of cheapening both when we sort of do sort of like a you know, like a wacky festival with loads of like, you know, artisanal food trucks? Or do you think that's a great thing?
I think it could come down to against like snobbery and where you are in your life, mate. Obviously, me as a 52-year-old, I've got 3 kids. You know, going to a festival and be able to get something nice to eat too does appeal to me. You know what I mean? So I'm getting a bit older. The different things, aren't they? The festivals are different for if you're going there to get whatever, and have a top time and that. You're not going there for the food, but I think it's a good thing. You know, I think they go hand in hand really, but obviously not late night going out. You know, I'm not interested in food then. But yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, is it a corporate? But there's a lot of corporate this, that, and the other, man. You know, you don't have to bite the hand, do you? But I don't think it's a bad thing. No. Why? How do you feel about
them? Again, I already mentioned when I was at Lost Village, I went to Dishoom and had a lovely like naan wrap. So I think, I think there's a sort of I think it's wherever your own snobbery line, you draw your own snobbery line.
Yeah, I mean that We Out I went to that We Out when the first one a couple of years back. But the food there was ace, and I went there with the two youngest kids. You know what I mean? So they had no late nights, missed loads of good nights, mate. You know what I mean? But I'll never forgive the kids for that. But that's another story. But the food there was really good, and they buzzed off that, and they loved being around a festival. You know, like fucking really did, and it was really nice to see that because that'll stick with them now. Because them little things that you do with, like, you know, your mum and dad and that when you get different things. As when I was a kid, you know, obviously mixed race. My granddad, West Indian, he used to go to the Sports and Social Club. He made that club in Moss Side and that. We used to go there and go to nights there, and them nights stuck with me, mate. You know, the flavours, the smells, the music. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. You know, as long as it's engaging people in it, just you can do that, can't you? Too many people do that. You know, just get on with your own life. Just be happy, mate. You know what I mean? Be happy. COVID should have shown us this. You know, look forward. Glass always half full. Come on, let's do it, man. Let's get back dancing.
So I suppose another quick fire one here. Then again, like disco brunch, lame or really cool?
Yeah, not for me, mate. Disco and brunch that should never be in the same sentence for me, you know. No, personally, on a personal level, we found disco's for dancing, fella. Disco is for dancing. Yeah.
I suppose we found your snobbery line on this one, then, haven't we?
Well, I think so. I don't know. Yeah, disco is for dancing. Disco's different, mate. It's not music. That disco's everything, isn't it? You know what I mean?
So, like, last sort of question.
Yeah.
If you had to give up one or the other, then food or music, which would it be and why?
If it was possible, definitely food. Could do that. I can't.
Not even a hesitation there. Just straight in.
No, because me and my nurse talked this over. And obviously, I said that straight away. I said, "But she can't survive without eating." I said, "I know that, love. This, you know, it's hypothetical, but yeah, definitely. I can't live without music. I find myself, if I'm not playing it out, I'll be listening to it, or I'll be looking for records. It's a lifelong thing, mate. You know, I go to like charity shops all over the shop. I've got many bombs from charity shops. You know, it's everything. It's just encapsulating, isn't it? It's wonderful. It's wonderful, man. You've got the bug for music. You know what I mean? I've seen like tunes. I've seen what they've done to you, man. I've seen you know what I mean? I've seen, he's got that one. He's had that. You know what it's like, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why you DJ, because you want to get people. Yeah, this is what you can do for you too. You know.
Do you think there's some, like, because I've said this before, like if somebody doesn't like either food or music, like, if you know someone's like I don't enjoy food or I don't enjoy music, that's like red flag Ted Bundy level stuff, isn't it? Like
for me, but you know, you do get that, you do get that with a lot of young, obviously being a parent with like young kids, you get a lot of young kids like it's strange. Don't get me wrong, my kids aren't, you know, the best thing in the world and diddly-do and all that, but they'll eat anything, you know, they'll try anything. So you meet other kids from other families and all that. A lot of them don't eat a lot of stuff, you know. It's mad. There's people in like the wife's school and all that. So some of the kids are they're getting ready to leave and that, and they only like eat apples and like baked beans.
Yeah,
and that's it. You know, it's like I find that odd, and I find it odd that no matter what, you know, you do as a parent, man, you wouldn't like address that situation. You know what I mean? It's weird. You know, people could be like that about food, but you've got to try and see past it as well, because there's still people, aren't they? Yeah. Still people, but it is Ted Bundy, yeah.
No, it is strange. I remember, obviously, when I grew up, like my mum hated cooking, so like me and my brother both love cooking now. Yeah. Right. We had chicken char grills and super noodles every night, and like my mum, like she won't mind me saying this, but like she would roast a joint of beef for 4 hours for like.
Yeah,
it was like cardboard, man.
Grey beef. You know what I mean? Sometimes we still go to Jenny's mum and dad's on like Christmas. We're like, oh, the great beef will be out, and it's like, yeah, it is. It's weird.
Yeah.
But everyone did that in them days because it wasn't, like I said, mate. In them days, if you go back, right, after you've done this, just put in Fanny Craddock and watch a little bit of that. She's fucking frightening. She's like Bram Stoker's Dracula, honestly. It's a frightening show. You know what I mean? It's only like last few years, obviously. The more it has come into, it's like bled through, and chefs are on everything. We're like, Rusty Lee and Ainsley Harriott and all that caper. But the people, they'll try things more now. And obviously, we're much more multicultural now and all. There's flavours coming in from everything. And I think just try it, man. Give everything a go. A go.
Ace. It was really, really great chatting to you today. And I've got one last question, which is where can we catch you playing in the near future? I know you're doing some stuff down Buxton Way. Any regular slots or mixes coming up you can share with us?
Yeah, I play in a place that's it's like a small bar in Buxton, Dub Bar and Kitchen. I'm there every Friday. Mystic Brew, it's a cacophony of like anything. It's a no rules vinyl selection. We play everything there, and you can always catch me on like Mixcloud as a Big Papa 68. There's about 200 mixes on there, and if you just listen to a few of them here and there, you're like, oh my god, yeah, just know. There's a library of music up there, it's all up there. It's got to come out. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, not a lot of people will be visiting Buxton, but you should do. It's a nice place, man. It's a nice place. Good vibes. It's on the up, man. It's on the up.
Yeah. Just quite far on the train. I'll leave that.
Yes, it is. You can still come and visit me, though, can't you, mate? You know what I mean?
No, it was really, really great chatting today. That was a really fun show.
Absolute pleasure, mate.
I hope you have a great rest of the day.
Well, I'll have a super day, man. Thanks for doing this and all that. Blessings, man, and have a lovely day, my friend. Yeah.
Catch you in a bit, G.
God bless you. See you later, mate.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.